Hi, I'm Nancy O'Neill. Today on Suncoast FYI, we talk to Director of Business Development Ken Jokisch from WebFab, owner Michael Juceam, and caregiver Vicky-Lee Layden of Right at Home, and Campaign Officer Nafi Sallah from Tidewell Hospice. All next on Suncoast FYI. Director of Business Development Ken Jokisch joins us in the studio today from WebFab to talk about their new product, Dispatch Ninja.
Hiya.
Hey, you. So start by telling our viewers, what is WebFab and what kind of business is it?
Well, WebFab, we're a software development company specializing in, of course, websites, mobile applications. The easiest way to explain it is any way that through technology helps your business either connect directly with your clients and or function better so that you can actually do more with your time.
Okay, so how long have you been in business?
We were founded right here in Sarasota in 2011.
Okay, and you were one of the founding members?
Absolutely not.
No.
I actually started a company a couple years ago here in Sarasota, and my company was kind of acquired or partnered with WebFab.
Oh, excellent.
Kyle Dolan actually is the founder of WebFab,
Okay.
and now we have a also co-founder of Seth Bracewell of Sarasota Web Design. So kind of like three business owners in Sarasota kind of came together, but WebFab is the brainchild of our founder, Kyle Dolan.
Great team.
Yeah,
Great team.
we're very excited about our leadership.
So tell us about some of the successful launches that you've had now since you've been in business since 2011.
Absolutely. Well, again, we're a software development company. A lot of times we do direct business for clients. We've done telematics apps. We have done back-end operation systems for other companies and even integration systems. But over the years, we actually have now created some of our own software and have launched it into the wild. One of them is called Easy Ticketing, which is a box office system. Think of like Eventbrite or Ticketmaster.
Sure.
But with ours, you don't get hit with the fees and or your clients don't get hit with the fees.
Right.
It's white labeled, and currently like State College of Florida is using this system. SRQ Magazine is using the system, and also one national company, Cirque Italia, is using it. So it's doing a lot of volume. That's very exciting. And then also we have a CMS, a content management system, which allows you to update your website, your back-end system, with the exception of it is built for enterprise base. Security and speed is our creed. So we just want to make sure it's extremely fast but very secure because your data is important.
Absolutely.
You can't have a breach.
Absolutely. Well, tell us about your newest product, Dispatch Ninja.
Very excited about Dispatch Ninja, absolutely. It's a fleet management system. I mean, it's really simple. You go online to book a service. You need your air conditioning fixed, your plumbing taken care of.
Right.
With this, you can go to the company's website, book your appointment, your name, your address, what the issue is, and then it gets submitted to the company. They then assign a technician. The technician, through the app, actually gets notification of the job, comes out to the job. The one difference is, that sounds pretty basic, like, well, that's got to be out there. The really cool thing about Dispatch Ninja is that if the client and the company choose, the client can get notified as their technician is approaching. Nancy, you're sitting at home, they call you up and they're like, hey, we'll be there between noon and 8 p.m.
I know. How ridiculous is that?
There's a day, right?
Yep.
And so now you can be opted in. If the company that is servicing you has Dispatch Ninja, when their technician is like 2 stops away, it'll send you a text message. Hey, Nancy, your technician's 2 stops away, estimated 2 hours. Well, now you can grab your kids from, soccer,
Right.
you can do some laundry, you
Right.
can do whatever you need. You can live your life. Maybe you go to work and make some money. $38 billion was lost last year just from people missing work out of the economy.
Absolutely. I can attest to that.
Yeah.
You sit home all day and then they call and say, oh, we're we're still running 2 hours late.
Yeah, if they call at all.
Yeah.
It is what it is. So, businesses can use it to go all the way to the customer for a loyalty, for a guarantee of not wasting their time. There's a lot of benefits to that. And or they can just use it for their own internal systems to be able to track where their technicians are, see where they're at. And the technician, when they're in the field, which is really cool through the mobile app, can take photos. So I'm at your house, Nancy, I'm fixing your plumbing. I can take a photo of the pipes. I then can take a note of the situation I found, submit it, and then when I'm done with the job, when you get emailed as the customer, now you know what you paid for. You can see what was done. And it's about transparency.
That's so important. Okay, well, how do you see the future of WebFab for Sarasota?
I think it's extremely bright. With these products we brought out, we actually, and through our founder's vision, Kyle Dolan, we're looking to create this as New Valley. We want to become the counterpart to Silicon Valley. High-paying jobs, highly educated people, clean jobs, and with the education, I mean, 5 universities in this town. Sarasota is amazing.
Yes.
I'm very excited to see where we can grow, and we are going to stay here in Sarasota, even though we have expansion coming up shortly. Yes, around the southwest of Florida. But Sarasota is our home, and just with the people in this community, such as yourself, but the Jesse Biders and the Swires, Liesl Lang and Wes Roberts, like an amazing group of people in this community. I'm not sure that any other place, even New York, because you can actually reach out and touch these people, get mentored by them. And if you don't have 5 mentors, I don't know where your company's going, but we are blessed to have many.
That's awesome. Tell our viewers where they can go to find you, please.
Google, WebFab, software development, mobile applications, or you can go to webfab.co. If you want to look at Dispatch Ninja, you can just go to dispatch.ninja. That's the cool thing about today. Not everything's a .com anymore. Not everything's a .net. You have .ninja, of course, so go there. So, it's a new day. It's a wonderful thing.
It definitely is, and every day is in the web field, I'm sure. It's, always changing.
Hey, if your kid has ADD, get him in software, because nothing is the same. Like, it constantly keeps moving. I could be speaking to somebody about, equipment from like heavy duty engineering equipment, earth moving equipment. Then all of a sudden I can be speaking to somebody in the medical field. Like, so you can pivot on a dime. It's amazing.
Well, thanks for being here, Ken.
Thanks for having me.
Lots to learn from you. Thank you. Coming up next on Suncoast FYI, we meet the Home Care Association National Caregiver of the Year, so please stay tuned. Our next guest is owner Michael Juceam and caregiver Vicky-Lee Hayden of Right at Home. Pleasure to meet you. Michael's going to tell us why he nominated you for Caregiver, National Caregiver of the Year, and how that all came to be. So Michael, tell us all about that.
Okay, my pleasure. National Caregiver of the Year for the Home Care Association of America is a very prestigious award. There are literally thousands of caregivers around the country who get nominated. We were really blessed to have Vicky on our staff. Vicky is a very unique individual. She knows how to be with people in their space, in their place in time, which is a really important part of caregiving. So she's, compassionate, and she listens, and she doesn't ever judge. She just meets the people where they are and then provides them what they need, and that's really what makes Vicky a very special caregiver. It's a talent that not everyone can do.
This is true. It's true. It's not an easy profession. What made you choose caregiving, Vicky?
13 years ago, I had a stroke, and it took me out of my accounting that I was doing. And I thought, I'm going to find something I can do to help people. So I went knocking on doors and became a caregiver, and I love it.
Yeah, you know how challenging it is when you've been through something. Yes, you can definitely empathize with people and understand where they are and what they've experienced by going through it yourself. What do you? I mean, obviously you enjoy helping people, but what do you enjoy most? Why does it give you such great satisfaction?
Just being there and helping them, making their day easier.
So what is your typical day like?
It depends. It varies from day to day.
Yes, of course.
I have a schedule, and I just go with the people and find out what it is that they need for that day, and we work on their schedule.
Okay. Now, when she received this wonderful award, how did that all take place?
Well, we submitted a nomination, and I can speak personally because Vicki has been a caregiver for my mother, who has dementia, and at times exhibited some very extreme behaviors, and Vicki never let those behaviors bother her or take it personally, but she was able to help Mom through it and able to help Mom do things that no one else could get her to do, such as bathe. So we submitted the nomination. We got a phone call from the Home Care Association letting us know that Vicki had been selected, and then the award was presented to her at the national meeting in Austin, Texas this past October.
Wonderful. So that right there speaks volumes and is one of the characteristics that you look for in a caregiver, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, my goodness, to have your mom
When
be in
Michael
such good
called me
hands.
and had me come to the office to tell me what we were going to do and what was happening, I was shocked. It's like, I'm just doing something I love.
Yeah.
I'm just taking care of people because I like doing that. And now I'm going to be rewarded for that. How wonderful.
How wonderful. But it's true. It is such a special gift. And you know, when you have somebody as close as your folks, you know, you always want the best for them, and to be able to feel great about who's with them, you know, when they can't be.
That's right.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So what should people look for, Michael, in a home care agency?
I think there's two different questions.
Okay.
In a caregiver,
Yes.
you want someone who has compassion and someone who listens. Those are, I think, two critical elements. As far as what you look for in an agency, you want an agency that also listens to you and provides the care that you and your family needs, rather than dictates to you what you have to have. So, for example, total flexibility in terms of length of shift.
What does that mean?
That means we don't have any minimums. So whether you need 1 hour once a week or 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you should look for that flexibility. The other critical thing that we think, all our caregivers are our employees, meaning they're covered by workman's compensation, and we pay their employment taxes, which totally insulates the family from any potential liability. We believe that employer-employee model is critical to making sure that good care is provided, because it also allows us to supervise caregivers, which you can't do if you're not using that model.
Right. Okay. Well, I think you've got a win-win situation here for everybody that needs you, and I'm sure everybody's going to want you by their side now. I think you're going to be in high demand. Can you tell our viewers, please, where they can go find out more about you?
Sure. Our website is www.seniorcaresarasota.com.
Okay.
Our phone number is 941-929-1966, and we gladly help any family who's looking for some support.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you, and thank you so much for your service.
Thank you.
Pleasure meeting you both. After the break, we talk to Tidewell Hospice, so stay here with us on Suncoast FYI. Our last guest this week is Campaign Officer Nafi Sallah from Tidewell Hospice. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
You look lovely.
Well, thank you.
Now we're going to start with, we're familiar with Tidewell Hospice, but tell our viewers how philanthropy works in with Tidewell. What role does that play in helping patients and families?
Well, philanthropy plays a very important role at Tidewell. Although most of our funding comes from Medicare, Medicaid, and private pay, we raise a lot of money to take care of services that would otherwise not be provided if we don't have the funding from our donors.
Okay.
Those services include grief and bereavement services is one of those, and that's providing support to not only our patients and their families, but also the community as a whole. You don't have to receive Tidewell or hospice service to be able to utilize those services. Okay. And another example of service that we provide that would otherwise not be available is our children's services, where we support services for children under the age of 21. Believe it or not, we do provide service to children at Tidewell as well. And we have the honors program where we, oh goodness, excuse me.
That's okay.
The honors program is, the honors program recognizes veterans, and we specialize in each individual and what they need for them and their families as well. And we have a complementary services, whereas we alleviate stress for the patient and their caregivers as well. We have massage therapy, pet therapies. We have furry friends that help us out as well. So
They're
those
wonderful. They really do help
Yeah,
so
those
much.
are few services that without the support of the community, we would not be able to provide to our patient and the families.
So what are some of the other ways that Tidewell Hospice raises funds?
Well, we have a comprehensive giving program at Tidewell, but some of the ways that we raise funds is, example, we have a 5K event coming up on November 18th this year, and at Lakewood Ranch Main Street. And that event, all the proceeds for that event will go to the new facility we are building in Lakewood Ranch that is opening in early spring. So we have that event coming up, and as well we have other major event is the Signature Luncheon, our 9th annual Signature Luncheon, which usually takes place in February at the Ritz-Carlton in Sarasota.
Okay.
So those are two major events that we host. But we also have communities and individuals who do third-party events on our behalf. So they can do fishing tournaments, they can do golfing tournaments, host an array of events on our behalf to raise funds for Tidewell as well.
So anybody that's interested in doing that, a business or an individual, if they choose, could contact you about hosting an event. And can it be any size?
It can be any size. It can be very small, intimate in your home. It can be, huge. We've had some really big events happen, especially over the last few years. So nothing is, too small. Nothing is too big.
Okay.
As long as you can handle those events and raise those funds on our behalf, we'll be more than happy to help you through the process as well.
So the 5K run that's coming up, it's called the Turkey Trot.
Yes.
Is there anything special that's tied in with that 5K?
The Turkey Trot, the Lakewood Ranch Runners Club is hosting what is called a triple challenge. So the Boo Run, the Turkey Trot, and the Jingle. So we happen to be the Turkey Trot, and like mentioned, the 5K event is to support the 8th hospice house we are opening, and that will be opening in spring of 2018. And so the Turkey Trot registration is open. We are still taking registration for that event, and all proceeds, 100% of that, is to support patients and families for that new facility.
And how much is the registration for
registration right now? The early bird registration is $30, and then on race day, it's going to be $40.
Okay. So we talked a little bit about how people can help and have events that they individually want to sponsor. Are there other ways that they can be involved? I mean, do you need volunteers? I mean, do you need service dogs to come in? What other ways can the community help you?
Absolutely. We love our volunteers, and we are 1,100 volunteers strong. So the community certainly supports us, and we truly appreciate our volunteers. You can volunteer, you can donate your vehicles if you don't have a car that you're using anymore. We have a thrift store in Venice, and I have beautiful beautiful items in there, so definitely a place to check out.
All right, now what is your website that our viewers can go find you?
Viewers can go to tidewell.org if they want to find more information about our organization. If you have any questions, you can certainly call also our 800 line 1855 Tidewell, and we'll be more than happy to answer any questions you may have.
Great. Well, thank you. It's very nice meeting you today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Suncoast FYI. We will return after a short break. Coming up this week on the Suncoast, the last weekend of the Sarasota Medieval Fair continues at the Sarasota County Fairgrounds. The 5th annual Sarasota Fall Fine Arts Festival will be held Saturday and Sunday in downtown Sarasota. The Venice Blues Festival will also be held this Saturday. And Sarasota's monthly food truck rally will be at J. Dub's Brewing Company. If you would like to promote your community event on Suncoast FYI, we would love to hear from you. Just call us at 941-361-4639. To view previous episodes, go to snntv.com under Programming. I'm Nancy O'Neill, and we'll see you next Friday on Suncoast FYI.